These new Japanese Marvel Tokon interviews shared a lot of information with us regarding the game's single-player content, and the game's official website now seemingly confirms a fan-favorite fighting game feature. What's going on, everybody? SSK here, and today I'm going to touch on everything we know so far about Marvel Tokon's offline features. As you may know, fighting games are really fun when playing online against people around the world, but their single-player modes can be just as enjoyable when done right. And in recent interviews with Japanese gaming websites 4Gamer and Famitsu, the developers talk quite a bit about some of the offline features fans can expect to experience when the game releases in early August. Not only that, but the Marvel Tokon website mentions an interesting feature the game has that the developers never mentioned anywhere else. So in this video, I'm going to cover all of this stuff so that you're up to date on what to expect when it comes to Tokon's offline experience, including a bunch of story mode information that you won't want to miss. All the sources that I will use comes from interviews, PlayStation blogs, trailers, and in-game match footage. And keep in mind that all translations are done with the help of my homie Soul and his buddy Roboto Boy, who is very fluent in Japanese. Appreciate the brothers for helping a guy out. With all that said, let's get right into it. Getting started, let's talk about the new details for the story mode. According to the Marvel Tokon producer Takeshi Yamanaka, the story mode will be a 10-hour motion comic featuring all 5 character teams. If you've never seen a motion comic before, Marvel and many fans around the world have made quite a few of them in the past, and the footage you see now gives you an idea of what Tokons may look like. We also got some glimpses of the game's motion comic in the recent Avengers team trailer, so it makes sense that this is the direction that they're going in. And in case any of you are wondering, yes, this story mode will have playable battles. Rest assured, it will not be like Guilty Gear Strive or Exert story modes where it's only just a movie. This is clarified by Yamanaka-san in an interview where he states that in episode mode, playable battles are incorporated throughout. Battles that are connected to the story unfold, and the system is designed so that anyone can casually enjoy it as if reading a manga, allowing the story to be experienced in a more interactive way. But if you want to know what the actual story is about, this 10-hour motion comic follows a character known as the Promoter, a mysterious figure who invades Earth and pressures our favorite characters to unite and fight each other in a tournament called the Challenge of the Champion. The winner of the tournament will have to face the Promoter's partner, Champion of the Universe, who is one of the strongest Marvel characters of all time. This man sits on his throne, watches the Promoter organize the battles, and awaits a mighty warrior who can give him a challenge. If nobody on Earth manages to defeat Champion, then their planet will be destroyed. This is pretty much why the characters agreed to participate in the tournament. The world is at stake. Each of the 5 teams on the base roster will have their own episode mode that showcases their sides of the story, similar to how each team has a story in Sonic Heroes, and each character has a story in some Kingdom Hearts games. But that doesn't stop there, because future DLC teams will have their own episode modes as well. When the 4Gamer interviewer asked if each new team announced would get its own episode mode, Yamanaka-san replied with yes. The default teams we've officially revealed were put together with the episode mode story in mind. The rosters reflect the narrative. Each team's story is about how those particular heroes ended up coming together to face the looming threat, and it plays out in an ensemble piece. Both the base roster and DLC teams will be made with the story in mind, so it only makes sense to give each future team an episode mode. But keep your eyes open, because we might see more than 5 episode modes in the base game. To provide some context, selecting certain team combinations generates different names in Marvel Tokon, a feature the developers have been very vocal about recently. The 4Gamer interviewer had an interesting idea and mentioned that fans might be delighted if forming a team with characters that were also in a group in the comics results in a special team name. In response, Yamanaka-san stated that since it would be a spoiler for the episode mode, I can't give specific examples at this stage, but of course, there are such cases. This can only mean that there has to be some kind of mysterious fan favorite team up that happens in one of the episode modes that you have to fight against, or it's probably a final battle that introduces a team that hardcore Marvel comic fans will know about. Now, as for how these teams are formed, the developers stated that characters have different reasons for forming their own groups. The story behind the Unbreakable X-Men's formation is that many of the core X-Men members were forced to withdraw from the front lines after a recent battle, leading Storm and Charles Xavier to form a new team with Wolverine and younger members. In particular, Danger was created from Shi'ar alien technology on planet Chandalar, which is now destroyed. She now not only seeks to avenge her homeworld, but also joins the X-Men to discover what it truly means to be alive. And if you're wondering about the other confirmed teams, Marvel Tokon's official Twitter account gave us lengthy descriptions on some characters, so it's easy to understand why the rest of the groups formed. In The Amazing Guardians, Spider-Man mentors Ms. Marvel, and Penny is pulled into their dimension through Star-Lord's faulty teleportation device. The crew then bands together to save Earth and return Penny home. Alternatively, the Fighting Avengers sees Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, and Black Panther forming a new Avengers team after an apparent recent fallout from the group, most likely due to Civil War. Shuri takes the mantle as Black Panther because T'Challa was beaten badly by Dr. Doom, according to his battle intro against Storm, and Hulk is struggling with trust and past guilt. Jesus Christ, how badly was this universe's Civil War? God. While it's unclear who is going to be on Ghost Rider's and Doom's team, we've got a better idea thanks to this Famitsu article. According to the developers, a few hints were dropped about the remaining 6 characters. Since Doom is a villain, it appears he will lead the villain team. As Ghost Rider is an anti-hero, he will reportedly lead the outlaw team. Doom's team being all villains is pretty expected, but Ghost Rider's team being filled with anti-heroes opens up a lot of doors. Deadpool, Punisher, Scarlet Witch, Elektra, Black Cat, there are a bunch of anti-hero Marvel characters that they could add to this team. But if you're wondering about more features in the episode mode, Yamanaka-san revealed that the episode mode includes a glossary and a character relationship chart, so even Marvel newcomers can understand the characters, the world's background, and the relationships within the game. It's pretty clear that the developers want Marvel Tokon to serve as a gateway for players to explore the movies and comics. The glossary will give you all the Marvel Universe terms you need to know, and the relationship chart will give you a visual that cleanly shows the relationships between all the characters in the game, and hopefully the ones that aren't even playable. If any of you have ever played Final Fantasy XVI, there's also a relationship chart in that game that will most likely be what Tokon is going for. I'm sure that the more you play the game, the more you will unlock extra things within these modes. Now, let's finally talk about that fan favorite fighting game feature that's mentioned on the Marvel Tokon website. The page features a lot of really cool pictures, character descriptions, videos, and information on purchasing the game, but one section of the site has some juicy details. As stated here, assemble locally and online, face off against a friend locally, or join the fray with up to 64 players in the online lobby, including standard versus modes and the ability to tag team co-op with your friends.
Yes! I love that!
This is huge news, and I'm genuinely surprised the developers have never mentioned it at all. Playing with your friends on the same team in this game sounds like such a fun idea, especially since this is a 4v4 game. While it's unclear whether you can co-op online or offline, there is a strong possibility that the feature is available in both. 2SKO is a clear rival to Marvel Tokon that has local and online co-op within the game, so it only makes sense for the Tokon developers to do the same. It would only support their vision of making the game easier for newcomers to get into, since players would only be learning one character while playing with their friends. Additionally, while Dragon Ball FighterZ didn't have any local co-op modes, it did allow players to play co-op in online battles, such as in Party Match where you can do 3 players versus 3 players, and Boss Raids where it's 3 players versus 1 boss. Unfortunately, the online co-op was met with huge criticisms because the online connections were so bad due to the netcode being delay-based. But we're in a new era of fighting games at the moment where the genre standards have drastically changed from when Dragon Ball FighterZ released. The online experience of fighting games has gotten way better these days thanks to robot netcode, so it's not surprising that Arc System Works wants to run it back with online co-op in Marvel Tokon. And even Marvel Tokon can have some co-op boss raids as well. Maybe they can do a boss raid for Hulk, Galactus, Dormammu, Blackheart. There is a lot of potential here. But there you go everybody, that's everything we know so far about the single player modes in Marvel Tokon. I personally would like to see more stuff like being able to edit characters' colors, mini games that offer different gameplay experiences like in the classic Naruto Ultimate Ninja games. I'm confident the developers have way more in store for the single player content in Marvel Tokon, but don't want to talk about it yet. After all, this game is going to be supported for 10 years, so there's a lot to look forward to. But let me know what modes you'd like to see in Marvel Tokon in the comments below, and be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. I make Marvel Tokon videos weekly, so if you want to experience more of these kinds of videos to build up to Tokon's release, stay with me. And as always, from me to you, have yourself a blessed day.